Hey everybody, meteorologist Ethan Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center for our Sunday edition of 19 at 6, our weekend weather show. We are live wherever you stream on the 24/7 weather streaming channel. We're live on fox19.com, the Fox 19 News and First Alert weather apps. We're live on YouTube, and we're also live on Facebook, both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX, where if you have any questions or comments, you can respectively ask those or comment those, and we'll be happy to have a little conversation here on this beautiful Sunday here into the tri-state. So, hi everyone, meteorologist Ethan Emery here. As I was saying, we're going to give you that promise of tonight, tomorrow, and the 7-day forecast, which I just updated here in a moment. But I want to show you this. This is a cold front. It's a backdoor cold front. So we had the cold front move through last night into this morning. That brought us those showers and thunderstorms yesterday, or the showers and storms that were ahead of that front. This is a secondary front. This is going to give us that extra shot of mild air for your Labor Day. Now, it is moving into a little bit of storm energy right up here, where it has triggered a few showers out there and a few gusts of wind. Nothing severe, nothing strong even, but we are looking at it be a very brief downpour that could cut into our northern counties. I think the atmosphere is a little too stable for most of the tri-state, though. Again, if you're in Fayette, Union, Butler, Warren, Clinton counties, you might see this actually extend into your neck of the woods. But again, just something to monitor, something we'll be monitoring too. And if we see anything that could disrupt plans, we'll let you know. But I really don't think that will be the case. So let's go ahead and give you that promise. So tonight's forecast, it's going to be a bit milder compared to the last several mornings. So it's going to feel nice and crisp as you're waking up on Labor Day morning. A lot of activities, a lot of events taking place here in the tri-state. Going into tonight, of course, the Rossi Fireworks Show in downtown Cincinnati. That's going to look pretty good with clear skies. Tonight's low is 60 degrees, and we head into the day on Labor Day. We've got a high up to just 79 degrees, so a pretty nice day on tap for your Monday. And the 7-day forecast does highlight, well, temperatures getting a little bit warmer as we head into the middle of the work week. And then we're looking at a small rain chance going in from Thursday evening, Friday, and then maybe into Saturday. But notice the temperatures. Our average high temperature this time of the year is around 84, 85 degrees. And we are going to actually see those temperatures be close to that, if not cooler than that. And so we go into next weekend especially. It looks really, really nice in my opinion. Mid-70s. With morning lows in the upper 50s Saturday morning. And then for the Bengals game day on Sunday, the first game of the regular season against the Patriots, a morning low of 50 degrees and a high of only 74 degrees. So looking really nice overall for that 7-day forecast. So we'll show you this and give you more details on this here in just a little bit. But I do want to take a look, first of all, on our rooftop camera. This is overlooking just above the studios here, looking towards downtown and looking towards Paycor Stadium. And again, a very beautiful shot here. Blue skies, a few clouds out there. Nice breeze as well. And temperatures today have been pretty warm. And we told you that yesterday. We told you the last couple of days that the humidity is going down, but the temperatures are staying warm. But again, that secondary cold front that's moving through, that will provide us with the cooler conditions, the more milder temperatures, in addition to the lower dew points here into the tri-state. So that's what's going on right now. And taking a look right now at radar, again, we do have that line of some showers that are moving in for areas towards the Dayton Metro and Columbus Metro. I do think that Cincinnati will be dry for the fireworks. Not looking at issues with that. But we are looking at, again, these little cells that are just to the north of Fayette County. Those might, if they hold together, could clip portions of Fayette and Union counties. And these cells here, they're moving pretty quick. So let me go ahead and kind of time this out for you. They're kind of generally moving from the north or west-northwest to the east-southeast. So not, looking at directly going towards Cincinnati, but if these things do hold together, they could make it over towards Connorsville close to 7 o'clock. but by that point, they're losing the daytime heating and they look to fizzle out. So I don't suspect there to be an issue with this, but want to give you the heads up just in case, because this front, you know, cold fronts have a little bit of energy. I always say that. And with the heating of the day today, as warm as it's been, it allowed for a couple of these cells to spark. But they're not doing much of anything other than a very brief shower for folks over towards, well, Tip City, up towards Lima, over towards Muncie, Indiana. But most of the tri-state does appear to be dry. So what am I talking about? Let's go ahead and widen this out. Let's take a look at our regional view of radar and satellite. My computer's a little laggy over here. It looks nice and clean for you guys, which is nice, but on my end it's a little buggy. Let's go ahead and I want to show you what I mean by the backdoor cold front or the secondary cold front. And what it is we have a really big low pressure system here. We've got a, well, I don't want to label it as such, but it is a relatively weak low pressure system there. And what this was the front that moved through yesterday. Again, it's kind of hard to tell where it's drawing at, so I'll just take this full screen. And what we have here is another front. And that front is going to provide in not only the milder air, but the cooler air as well. So we got high pressure right here. So I'm just going to draw the actual high right there. So that high is going to move in and bring us that cooler air for your Monday, for Labor Day, as well as on a Tuesday. Now, it's not a super strong high pressure, but it is enough to keep things relatively dry across the region. So I guess in regards to dry conditions, yes, it is pretty big. But when it comes to temperatures, you know, it's not looking at any large magnitude of temperatures below normal for us. It's just a couple of days where things will be on the cooler side. I think the high pressure we're going to have going into next weekend is going to be stronger with regards to temperatures here in the tri-state, and the return of 40s for overnight lows. So we've got that cooking for us in the 7-day and even beyond the 7-day forecast, which I still need to tweak a couple of things on it, but I'll show you that here in just a moment, or here in a little bit rather. But today it was a warm day out there. We had a high of 88 degrees. We told you that yesterday. We did make it up to 88. Morning low of 69 degrees. Feeling pretty good. Got an A+ forecast for you today. Average high of 83. So most of the 7-day forecast is actually below normal. We got, I believe, 2 days above normal, and that's it out of the 7. So not too bad of a 7-day forecast ahead after what was a very hot week last week. 7 days in a row of temperatures at or above 90 degrees. Of course, no rainfall today, and we're not going to see any rainfall for the next several days here into the tri-state. And one thing that, well, I'll save that here for a moment. I do want to focus first on what's happening outside now, because if folks are heading out for the fireworks show, trying to get in some of the rest of Riverfest, maybe they're going to the Oktoberfest up in Hamilton. I believe it's the Liberty Home Oktoberfest. There's just so many things going on. I mean, every weekend there's something going on in the tri-state, but if you're trying to head out, want to know what's going on out there right now, we've got temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Dew points, again, a lot more manageable than it was this time yesterday. In the mid 50s for most locations. Still a little humid out to our northwestern counties, but that will knock down heading into this evening once that front passes through. But generally speaking, dew points are manageable. So heat index values, not much of an issue. But the winds out there are picking up a little bit, and it's ahead of that front, and even the front behind it will bring in a slight gust with it. Nothing strong, but you'll notice a breeze. Winds out there right now at around anywhere from between 5 and 15 miles per hour. Could see a gust out there around 20, maybe 25 miles per hour here this afternoon into this evening. So take a pause really quick. I will preview that we're looking at the forecast for tonight and tomorrow, of course, and in the work week ahead, and also some fall stuff for you too, coming up in just a moment. So look over here on this camera. All right, Susan says, hi, Ethan. Hope you're having an awesome evening. Thank you, Susan. So far, so good. Can't complain too much. I wish I was outside, though, enjoying some of the sunshine. I'd like to get some outdoor chores done, but hey, I enjoy doing the forecasting, too. Susan says, send some showers to the Blanchester area. We welcome it. I think this line that's over to the north is not going to really make its way towards Blanchester, unfortunately. I think it's going to fizzle out. The odds are very much against it, looking at the observations across the region. The atmosphere is not favorable for it to extend all the way through the tri-state. In fact, it's gradually weakening as we speak. Michael giving a thumbs up. Right back at you, Michael. Pat says, no rain, great. Yeah, good for all the evening activities here this Sunday evening. Shauna says, hi, Ethan. Hi to you, Shauna. Hopefully you're having a great evening. That's all the Fox 19 comments. Take a look at my Facebook page real quick, at Ethan Emery WX, and then we'll go ahead and continue. No comments there. All right. So we'll go ahead and continue with our stuff here. So again, wind gusts out there around maybe 15 to 20 at most. Could get close to 25 at times for our northern areas, but aside from that, the wind gusts are not really problematic. And then for tonight, we're looking at temperatures, well, dipping down. Not looking at any issues with visibility. Let's go ahead and jump ahead. Tonight's forecast, we got a low of 60 degrees. So a cooler night compared to the last several mornings. And we're looking at tomorrow looking really nice for Labor Day. High temperatures will be in the upper 70s. A couple of low 80s will be out there, but much of the tri-state will remain in the 70s for Labor Day. And I will say it does get pretty nice going forward heading into the work week. But let's take a look at the regional forecast for folks who might be traveling across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley regions. We're looking dry pretty much all across the region for tomorrow. We got highs in the 60s up in Cleveland, low 70s in Pittsburgh, upper 70s in Columbus, Indianapolis, as well as us here in Cincinnati. Mid 70s up in Chicago, low 80s in Charleston, West Virginia. My sister and my mom are down there celebrating Labor Day. I wish I could go down there to see them, but they're having fun. The weather's going to be really cooperative for them. 80 for a high over towards Lexington, low 80s towards St. Louis, Missouri, with a lot of sunshine there. A bit warmer, though, towards the Tennessee Valley along the Cumberland River in Nashville, 88 degrees. So, of course, that's not unusual for them. But if you want the warmth, you got to head further south towards Tennessee. But otherwise, much of the region dealing with, just like us, highs in the upper 70s and the low 80s. So the comfortable air, once that front passes through, which it's already comfortable outside now, but more comfortable air moving in this evening and tonight. How long will it stay? Well, the answer to that question is that the next couple of days, very comfortable air in place. Now we go into Wednesday. We are looking at some high, thin clouds moving in, and that's ahead of a, well, not even going to affect us, but a system moving into the deep south. But that high, thin cloud cover will allow for dew points to kind of spike a little bit for your Wednesday. But then we go in towards the end of the work week, so Thursday into Friday, we do begin to see rain chances move in, and that's going to be associated with a system that that front will bring in with it a little bit of humidity. Manageable humidity, but noticeable nonetheless, with dew points getting up into the mid-60s heading into your Friday, and it won't be long-lived. In fact, by Saturday, we're back into the comfortable category with the muggy meter. So good to see that we don't have the air you can wear or miserable muggy conditions here into the tri-state. So looking pretty good on that front. And speaking of which, we are going to look at that forecast model on a long range. This is a long range computer model. We have it on a regional view just because it doesn't have the best when it comes to higher resolution. But it is going to show you a couple of things I do want to point out. So Tuesday, we are going to be looking at some sunshine, but it'll be filtered through upper level clouds. These clouds are not at the surface. These are upper level clouds. So if you ever notice sometimes when you look up in the afternoons, it looks kind of, I don't want to say smoky, but it kind of looks like a haze way up high. Those are really high up in the atmosphere. We call them cirrostratus clouds. And these little ice crystals, and they're way up there. And oftentimes these high thin clouds are usually ahead of a system. And these high thin clouds also bring what we call sun halos. So if you look up towards the sun with sunglasses on and not looking up very long, hopefully, but you might notice a little ring around the sun Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday. That's because of the high thin clouds. And in fact, I should have an explainer real quick. Since I brought up the conversation, I might as well just go into the what I'm referring to. If I can find it. That's the key. Is trying to find the graphic in a sea of unorganized graphics. So it should be in my folder, unless I put it into a different folder. Hopefully you're all having a great Labor Day weekend. Let me know in the comments what you're doing, what plans you got. Maybe you're heading to the fireworks. Maybe you're going somewhere else. Maybe you're going to go to maybe the Highland County Fair, which I got a lot of folks ask me about that. I'm going to try to go, but I do have some events that I need to attend to, so I might not be able to go, but I'm going to try my best to go. Maybe it's in this folder. Yes, it is. All right. Ignore the old banner, but what we've got here is, this is the high thin clouds what I'm talking about. It looks like this. It's not quite blue. It's not really thick, and it's where you can't see the sun. The sun still filters through those high thin clouds. So you have these high thin clouds here. When the sun hits those clouds, it refracts the light. And when it refracts that light, it creates kind of a rainbow. It's the exact same process as a rainbow, except for rainbows are caused from the rain droplets from precipitation and the sunlight refracting off of those rain droplets. This is the same principle, but instead of it being with rain, it's the ice crystals that are way up in those clouds, and it creates what we call a 22-degree halo, because the angle of refraction off of the crystal is 22 degrees. So kind of a cool sciencey thing, but you might see those. We often get photos, people being confused. What is that ring around the sun? We call it a sun halo, or a 22-degree halo. So cool, fun thing that you're probably going to see on Tuesday as well as Wednesday here in the tri-state, especially, I would say, along and south of the Ohio River. Areas north might have a bit more sunshine, at least on Tuesday, but we go into Wednesday, and you'll see here also that same odds. So areas to the north might have a lot more sunshine to work with, whereas areas near Cincinnati and points southward will see those high thin clouds, which again could create what we call those sun halos that you might see, or just a sun halo, but in different perspectives. So we're dry through Wednesday. That's the point. You'll see the cool clouds, but it's going to be dry. Thursday, I think we're going to be dry for the bulk of the day. Thursday evening, I think we could see the opportunity for maybe a stray shower. And that's just associated with, you get a little bit of warm air kind of filtering into the Ohio Valley, southwest wind. You can even see this model's trying to pick up a couple of cells over towards Terre Haute and Indianapolis. That could make its way into the tri-state for Thursday evening. Though I think if you got outdoor plans Thursday, keep them. Don't totally disregard the rain chance, but I do think we're going to be well more dry than wet. We go into Friday, though. Friday has our best opportunity for rain, at least in the next 7-day forecast. So this is 10 a.m. Friday. You can see there's a lot of cloud cover here into the region, all through here. And then we go into Friday afternoon into Friday evening. Here's that front. And this front here is going to bring us a few widely scattered showers. I don't suspect anything strong or severe. I think there could be some rubbles of thunder, maybe some lightning, as well as a gust of wind. And I think the gust of wind won't be any more than, say, 20, 30 miles per hour. So not enough to cause damage, not enough to really be too disruptive, but if you're trying to go to a high school football game, at most you might feel the gust of wind might affect the kickers or maybe the quarterback throw if they're throwing a deep ball. But otherwise, yeah, Friday is our best shot to see some isolated, widely scattered showers here into the Ohio Valley. We go into Saturday, though, and Saturday does also look very similar to Thursday with regards to it being more dry than wet. However, with Saturday, I cannot rule out a few showers lingering behind, so wraparound moisture could make its way through. This model has some of it over towards Lake Michigan. We could see that effect here, which is very common with typically this time of year when you have a low pressure system acting like this. You tend to have these little pop-up showers that develop behind it with the cooler air, that northwest flow, and that is why I think we could see a few pop-up showers on Saturday as well. So this model is not showing it quite as well, but I think that based on the current pattern setup, we could see that. So here's Saturday evening. That low pressure system way up to the north is moving off to the north and east, and in comes this high pressure, and this is going to bring in well below normal temperatures for next weekend. In fact, it looks really nice for the UC football game as they face off against Pitt on Saturday, and of course, as your Bengals flagship station, I got to say, the Bengals game on Sunday looks really, really nice. Ideal football conditions. If I recall last year, the first game of the season, I think it was up in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. That was, I think we had those passing showers. It was kind of cool. The good news is this year at home, it's cool, but it's dry. So easy conditions, hopefully, for Burrow and company to give us a W for the Cincinnati. So that is what I suspect here over the next 7 days. And we'll put it into your 7-day forecast. And the warmest day of the 7-day forecast is going to be Thursday. It's going to be because of that southwest flow. And I do think Thursday will be mainly dry, but there is that pop-up chance in the afternoon and the evening that could provide us with a few showers. I put fireworks for Sunday. I left them up for Monday on accident. I'll take those off before the 10 o'clock newscast. But again, looking like a mainly dry 7-day forecast, the exception being Thursday evening, Friday, and then maybe Saturday afternoon. Saturday, again, is going to be one of those setups where we might see the northwest flow pop-up showers developing from that wraparound moisture. But we'll have to see as we get closer. Drier air may influence this to really knock that out, and it's going to depend on that placement of the low. Right now, though, based on where it's at, I think we could see that pop-up chance. But you can see here, temperatures are not too warm. In fact, it's kind of a relief compared to what it was like last week. So 79 for your Labor Day, 80 for your Tuesday, 85 for Wednesday, and 86 for Thursday. Those are two of the warmest days, at least the next 7-day forecast. We go into Friday, a few showers, keeping temperatures into the low to mid-80s. But then going into the weekend, a big change. 75 for an afternoon high on your Saturday. Saturday night into Sunday, I think a lot of locations will fall in the 40s. But Cincinnati, I'm going to keep it right at 50. Sunday afternoon, a high of just 74. So if you're tailgating here in downtown, make sure that you are maybe bundled up. Weird to say that after a week of 90s and record-breaking 90s at that. But that's what we've got working for us here over the next 7 days. Now, I'm not going to show you the 14-day forecast simply because I haven't updated everything exactly the way I want to. I'm very particular with how I like to forecast. I don't want to mislead you or misguide you or go in blindly. But I will say this is going to be pretty much what I'm expecting. So the next 2 weeks, temperatures look to be below normal for the most part. I will say there are a couple of days in the 14-day forecast where there's a temperature bump up, and that looks like it's towards the middle of September. So there could be a little brief warm spell, and when I say warm, I mean low to mid-80s. In fact, the warmest day that I was looking at in the data, let me go ahead and double check. Yeah, 85. So that would be around the middle of the month of September. So around September 14th, 13th, and 14th, we could see around 85 degrees. But otherwise, it does look like temperatures will be below that over the next 2 weeks. And with this cooler air, it does look drier. So drier air is going to be in place. So not really helpful for folks who need the rain, but at least we're not suffering the consequences of it being hot in addition to being dry. And if you're curious, the next 3 to 4 weeks, well, hold on, I want to double check something real quick because this may be a little outdated. I'll check the comments here in a moment, and I kept a promise. I mentioned it yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday, I am going to show you the updated fall foliage map to see when we could expect foliage here in the tri-state. I want to double check when they updated this. Okay, so this is updated. Can't say I fully agree, but there is indications of those temperatures being in the low to mid 80s, which by the mid and late September, highs are on average usually in the mid to upper 70s. So I guess in that regard, yes, temperatures will be just above normal, but not by a lot for that matter. And when it comes to precipitation, there will be some opportunities for some showers, though much of the Great Lakes region will be dry. And if that does expand, that means we'll be drier. And I think that might be the case. So that's something we'll have to monitor towards the end of the month of September. Okay, before we get to the fall foliage forecast, I do want to say, once this graphic loads with the 7-day forecast, I want to pull up one more thing before we continue. Because I want to make not only my friend Courtney King happy, but myself happy, and a lot of you out there happy as well. And maybe you know what I'm going to say. If I can find the graphic. Steve made it this morning, so if you watched the Fox 19 morning show with Peyton and Chief Meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer, then you already know about the show. If you don't know, bear with me. I'm trying to work on finding this graphic. Tell you what, we got to clean up this folder for sure. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Promise. All right, I'm going to find another way to do this real quick. Oh, the 7-day disappeared. That's odd. All right, we're gonna find this. Promise. Aha! I don't know why I couldn't find that one. Okay. Come on, let's go. Technology's not running fast today. All right, here we are. Today is the start of meteorological autumn. So, for those of you who like pumpkin spice lattes, like ciders, like fall things, you have an excuse now. You're welcome. Meteorologists, climatologists, anybody who studies atmospheres, atmospheric sciences, we typically use these seasons to gather data because with astronomical data, which the position of the sun, that's how you get the calendar seasons or the seasonal changes like September 22nd, I believe, is when autumn officially begins. That is on a sun position time frame, whereas we use months just because it's easier to collect data from, because sometimes with the sun's positions, there's differences in data, there's differences in time. It gets really, really messy. So meteorologists, we want to keep it simple. Sometimes we're not simple, but in this case we are. And officially, it's meteorological fall, so have at it. For those of you who still want summer, it's still summer on an astronomical aspect. So you got a couple of weeks left. In fact, you got 3 weeks and some change left before summer is over. So trying to make both of y'all happy, between those of you who like summer and like fall. So I wanted to show you that before we show you that fall foliage forecast. But we'll take a pause real quick to look at some of the questions and the comments on our Facebook page. All right. Holly says, love the fall temps. Absolutely. I do too. I love next weekend's forecast, especially. Briar says, hi, Ethan. Hi to you. Betty also says hello. Hopefully you're doing well. Sam says, hi, E. The weather great outside. It was warm, but not too bad. Got a few trees cut back, but love the sunny weather. Glad to hear it, Sam. In fact, something I grew up with, being from an agricultural, blue-collar family, we were told, my great-grandpa told my grandpa, who told my dad, who told me, is that during the summer you're not supposed to cut or transplant trees. Any month that does not have an R in it, I believe it's R, yeah. Any month that doesn't have the letter R in it, you're not supposed to cut back a tree unless you're trying to kill it. So now it's September, it's a loosely based thing. So we're getting into that season where you're going to see folks trimming back trees, maybe transplanting trees and shrubs, getting ready for, of course, late fall into winter. So yeah, so hopefully, Sam, you had a fun time doing that. A little warm out there, but not too bad. Ashley says, hi, Ethan. How's your weekend going so far? It's going kind of lazy. I haven't done a whole lot. It's kind of hard to working Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, just with everything going on. But Saturday morning, I went for a walk for a little bit. This morning, I slept in. But got a few things done around the apartment, so not too bad. Susan says, love meteorological seasons. I do too. Brenda says, hi, Ethan, from the hospital. Hopefully everything's okay, Brenda. Hopefully it's just a routine checkup or something, but if it's not, thoughts are with you. Hopefully that things are okay for you, Brenda. Okay, now let's look at my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX. Got one comment there. Sarah says hi. Betty also says hello. And Betty's asking about the second weekend in October, about it being warm. Now, I can't answer that specifically because that's a very specific time frame, but I can take a look at the seasonal outlook. That far out, it's very, very tricky. So I'll try to answer that real quick. So give me a moment, Betty. Kiefer says, let's go, bring on the fall. Yes, very exciting to see fall conditions, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to answer Betty's question real quick, asking about fall. I don't have a graphic to show you with it. So let me look really quickly here. Overall, the month of September looks pretty normal with regards to temperatures because starting off fairly cool, or average, just below average with temperatures. Then we see kind of an upswing briefly for the middle and early latter half of September. Then it does cool back down going into October. And according to the Climate Prediction Center, that far out, they only give seasonal, so October, November, December. It does show temperatures just above normal. So again, I wish I could give you a better scope of the second week of October, but really hard to get that. Not to mention that far out, models have a lot of variability, so best I can tell you is temperatures above or below normal. And right now it looks like for the beginning of October, I would say near normal. So does not look like anything outrageous right now for if you've got any kind of plans that far out. So we're just going to give you better information, but that's about the best we can do right now. Okay, since we're on the subject of fall, let's look. My computer wants to cooperate with me. Kind of hard to see when your computer doesn't want to work. Here we go. The fall foliage. Now, I want to show this discrepancy here is that this is from SmokyMountains.com. They do a pretty early look at the fall foliage. It's usually fairly accurate. There are some exceptions to that, but this is going into this week. So there is already some foliage showing up towards the northern portions of the country here and also into portions of the Rockies. Now, you might be just walking outside and saying, hey, I'm seeing leaves fall. I'm seeing trees change color a little bit. Not the same thing. It is, I guess, in some aspect foliage, but it's not really foliage. A lot of it's due to the fact it's been really dry because the dry conditions, it has an effect on how some trees react to it. But when it comes to widespread foliage, what we're looking at for us here in the tri-state is going to begin in the beginning of October. So October 2nd, we're going to look at some foliage begin to take place. We go into October 9th, we're looking at some patchy foliage here in the tri-state. October 16th, partial foliage. The 23rd, near peak. And then at peak towards Halloween week. And then we're past the peak of foliage going into the first week of November, which is usual. That's a normal thing, as peak foliage is usually around the Halloween week. But considering how dry it has been, I wouldn't be surprised if we reach our peak foliage maybe the week before Halloween. So I would say mid to late October is going to be your best opportunities here in the Fox 19 Now viewing area to see those colors. So again, mid-October to late October, which is kind of a normal thing. But this is from the SmokyMountains.com website, which often does a pretty good job with the forecast for foliage in the country. Brenda says, thanks so much. Ashley says, how the dew points look? Looking pretty good. Now, if you're in southeast Indiana, dew points out there still in the low 60s, but most of the tri-state right now are seeing dew points in the mid-50s. And after that secondary cold front moves through this evening, we are going to look at dew points in the 40s and low 50s for Labor Day as well as Tuesday. But I will say that we're not looking at the air you can wear kind of dew points in the near future. So looking pretty good on that front, Ashley. All right, I'll look at my Facebook page real quick. Okay, Betty responding, we had a haunted hayride that weekend. Yeah, hard to believe that conversations of haunted houses, hayrides, it's already happening. I'm looking forward to it. Last year, I didn't get to go. The schedules just didn't work out for me. But this year, I'm going to try my best to go with some family and friends. Love haunted houses and stuff like that. Yeah, so again, sorry, Betty, I can't give you a more precise forecast right now. But I do think that doesn't look to be too chaotic at that point with regards to temperatures. But as we get closer, check back in. We'll let you know. So take one last look at the 7-day forecast, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off here because I got to start getting ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. We're looking at a travel forecast for you, and then of course we're looking at I might be doing some updates on the extended forecast beyond the 7-day. I'm going to try to show that tonight here on Fox 19, and then also of course the fireworks. Got to sit back and enjoy the fireworks a little bit. So here's one last look at the 7-day forecast. So for Labor Day, mostly sunny, a high of 79. Tuesday, 80, partly cloudy conditions. And it's going to be those mid to high level clouds, so don't be surprised if you see the sun halo up in the sky. That'll be for Tuesday and Wednesday. Filtered sunshine, we'll call it. 85 though, a little bit warmer for your Wednesday. The warmest day is Thursday, the high of 86 with that evening chance. Friday, a few showers, part of a cold front moving through. A stronger cold front, mind you. Wait, am I at the right camera? I am. Good deal, good deal. Saturday, got a much cooler air moving in behind that cold front, and high of 75. And then for the Bengals game, it looks sunny, it looks crisp. Morning low of 50, an afternoon high of 74 degrees. So that is the 7-day forecast, and again, we'll break down that 14-day forecast a little bit more detail tonight at 10 o'clock on Fox 19 now. But I want to say thank you for joining us here on this Sunday edition of 19 at 6. If you missed the 10 o'clock newscast tonight, don't worry. Catherine Bodak will be filling in for Frank tomorrow and got you covered on the Fox 19 morning show. And then I believe it'll be Chief Meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer tomorrow afternoon. I gratefully have tomorrow off, so I'm going to go visit a friend in need right now, but going to go out to Hillsborough, and then going to try to get out to the Highland County Fair if I can. And then I'll be back here on Wednesday. And I do want to say that meteorologist Ashley Smith is actually on vacation all this week, so nothing's happened. She's just on vacation. She will be back here by next weekend. She's having some fun, some much-needed time off, and her and I have been chatting a little bit. So she's got a beautiful spot. She's going to be at the beach, going to be enjoying herself, and hopefully you're enjoying yourself too here on this Labor Day weekend. Hope you enjoy the fireworks, and yeah, if you want to check the forecast out, of course, you can always go to fox19.com/weather and on the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app. Have a great Sunday evening. Hopefully you enjoy the fireworks, or at least enjoy yourselves tonight, and be responsible and have a happy Labor Day.